All right, good morning. Welcome. Name is Tony, and I am studying for the Lsat. So I've chosen Lsat Max as my test prep course, and I've been kind of watching other people, and Julio and I've been talking back and forth about different things. Julio, you're a boss, dude. You are doing work and taking care of kids and doing the Lsat. If I had a hat, I would take it off for you. So. Um, anyway, here we are. I'm at the sufficient and necessary conditions. Here is my calendar. You can see it says April here, but I started in late May or mid-May, so I am now at this point in the course and at sufficient and necessary conditions. No, actually, I'm here. I didn't get all the way through this, so um, I need to continue today. Yesterday, what I did was I finished up the sufficient and necessary conditions video, for which I made some detailed notes, and I'll grab those here for you. Um, Here is my notes, and I showed last time the diagrams I made. One thing that might be helpful for you um, is learning some logic symbols. You can go online and find them. Basically, you have like therefore, this is the negation sign. So that helps you when you're typing. You can find the negation sign by going like here and typing symbol. And then you go, and now I've already got it there, but when you look, you'll say more symbols, and you find it in the so like this is kind of the lower, maybe at like 6 to 7 out of 10 if this were a 1 and this were 10, so kind of lower on the list. Find that negation sign there. There's also therefore, which is supposed to be 3 dots, like dot dot dot, but I just do a period and a colon, and that gets it done. But for this one, we just needed the negation sign, and this is the negation sign. Doing what they call symbolic logic symbols. Well, symbolic logic is helpful for you in writing out things. In the course videos, they use a lot of, they just kind of cross out, but I have found that a lot of times, I don't know, maybe it's just when we're doing only variables like x and y, that cross out doesn't really work well, because imagine you've got an x and then you're trying to cross out an x which already has two crosses on it. So the negation sign is a good alternative for that. But when you get into doing actual symbolic logic on questions, you're going to end up with like acronyms for things, and then you can cross out the acronym knowing that means negated. Um, Sufficient and necessary conditions basically are if-then statements, and it's all the rules surrounding if-then statements. Here in the course, they have the video, and then you have sufficient and necessary condition cards. So you can go through if indicates a sufficient condition. So it's like if it's a carrot, then it's a vegetable. So if is the sufficient condition. If is so that if it's a carrot, that's sufficient to guarantee that it's necessarily going to be a vegetable. So that's if. Anyway, so they've got the answer on the back of the card. Sufficient condition. The other part's a necessary condition. I'm going through this fast because this video is not intended to teach. This is just intended to kind of display what LSAT Max is about, and also give me a chance to talk through, and also hopefully take feedback. I know Julio's doing a blueprint. He said that it's similar to this. Julio, I don't know if they have cards like this on blueprint. This is flashcards are good. I have also something called Quizlet, which you can make your own flashcards and make loads of them. And I've done some Clepping with that. Clepping is what you can test out of courses in college and college credit for it. So anyway, that's those cards. And then the next thing was missing premise drills. Now, the last time we talked, or my last video, I talked about the necessity or the usefulness of the office hours here in LSAT Max, and I did find out that it was useful, because I got to this and I was like, what in the world is this missing premise? They had never kind of introduced it in a in a in any of this material. It was never introduced. So I didn't know what they were talking about when they said missing premise. And so I went over and I just kind of searched their videos, and I found this missing premise drills video, and they explained it with a lot of teaching on how you do that and what's it all about. So it was really good. And essentially, a missing premise drill is just basically if A, then P. You have a missing premise, obviously missing premise drill. Okay, so you have if A, then P, then you have a missing premise. So the conclusion is not C, then D. And then you kind of go through, do the contrapositive of everything. You obviously don't have this. Once you get the contrapositives, you can look and see, okay, I have C, not C, and not D. So I start out with not C here, and I get to not A. So then if I'm missing something from C, not C to D, if I have not C to not A, then that means not A must lead to D. So that means not A, if not A, then D is the missing premise, and that gets you to the correct conclusion. So have those cards, did all those, went through those real carefully. And then argument completion drills is similar, but in this one the conclusion is missing. So you have two premises, and then you are to come up with a conclusion. This one, as you can see, is what they call transitive. You have X, if X, then Y, and if Y, then Z. Therefore, if X, then Z is the conclusion. Right, boom. So that's the missing or argument completion drill. And then you have the brain cooker. That's the questions. So I got up to question 8. Now, I did these a little different this time. I don't know if it's because this is available. I think this wasn't available on the other ones, but as you can see, I am not doing very well on these. This is clearly a weakness for me. I've got basically a 50% accuracy at this point when I start doing question 9. But the cool thing is that when you get a question wrong, and if you get it right, you can watch the explanation, and they explain through. I mean, they give you if you guess incorrectly, they give you a reason why here. They write it down, and that's fine, and that's helpful. However, a video explanation going through step by step is far more helpful for somebody like me. So I will carry on doing my studies today. This is where I will be doing sufficient and necessary conditions. And I really appreciate your comment, Julio, just because it helps me kind of interact, and I hope to hear more about your story. And so thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day.